Airlines are the role model. Almost every passenger pays a different price depending on the load factor and on the booking time. Now ski lifts in Switzerland started experimenting with that model too. Dynamic pricing shall increase the sales of ski lift tickets. And we are here at the White Marmot in St. Moritz to speak to the project manager of the Engadin St. Moritz Mountains to find out more about this new business model. Since September the 1st, you're actually selling the ski tickets with dynamic prices. How does your model function?
If we compare to last year we had the same prices all winter season long. It was around 80 Swiss francs, a bit lower for the whole season. And from this winter on, you have one price for each day, a different price for each day. And the price is calculated on two parameters. One is how many people have already bought the passes for a specific day. And the other factor is the time of your booking. The earlier you buy, the lower is the price. Or the more people are on the mountain, the higher is the price.
And why did you decide for this new pricing model?
We listened to our customers. It's about the needs and the changing behaviors of our guests. And as we all know, people get their information online in any kind of business today. They compare and they want to make their own best deal. And with the snow deal, how we call our dynamic pricing model, you are now able to buy dynamic pricing tickets as well in the ski industry. And the other hand side is that our ski area has a very different demand in the low season before Christmas or in March or April compared to the Christmas and New Year's week, and we want to make our ski region attractive as well in the lower season with lower prices.
During Christmas, New Year, that's your peak?
That's our peak, and most of the people up until last year, it's about 80% of all bookings were made at the day the people went skiing, or maybe the evening before, but it was very short term. And we thought about how we get the people there to buy the tickets in advance. Because if you buy late, you have different reasons to not to buy at the very end. So if the weather is not that good, you don't buy the ski ticket, you go shopping, you go cross-country skiing, whatever. And we were thinking of how can we have the people buying their tickets earlier. And they benefit with a 30% discount if they buy the tickets 2 weeks in advance.
So you actually prefer people paying less, but they book early, than paying more on the same day?
We prefer to have a booking than to let them people think of should I go skiing or not. So there is a financial attraction to buy earlier. Of course it shouldn't be too cheap, but still we want to have a booking in our books and maybe even at a lower price, but we are sure they're gonna be here and go skiing.
And you always have the same amount of ski lifts, seats that you could sell. So don't you have to offer the tickets very cheap to have the most out of it? You know, wouldn't you prefer to have 80% of load for a very cheap price and having 30% for very high prices?
You're right. We opened the lift from the beginning of more or less November up until April, and we have our costs. And it's an economic decision how to get the most out of it, how to get that many tickets sold as possible, how to increase your revenue. And in the lower season, we think with a bit lower prices, we could attract more people. But it's not only about to increase the demand in the lower season. It's more about getting people buy their ski passes early. But the ones who take their decision very late, they pay more. So the price in average should be around the same.
Who is profiting from this, from this dynamic pricing model?
It's both. It's both. It's the customer and the company. We actually saw a lot of people have already bought their tickets in the last couple of months for between Christmas and New Year, and as well in the main ski holiday time, like end of January up until February. And those people, they all bought their ticket 2 weeks in advance and got their 30% discount. So they are very happy. And we as well, because we have never had so many people buying their ski passes up until this time of the season.
Oh, so you did see an increase of sales?
Yes.
How much more was that?
Right now, I think we are like more or less 10% ahead. If you just think about what we have earned last year up until this time and this year, and only the people who have already gone skiing. But we already sold a lot of tickets in advance for the next couple of weeks, and we're gonna see at the end of the season how it's really worked out. But so far, we're very happy how it started. Yeah.
Okay. The region of Engadin has seen a decrease in tourism since the financial crisis in 2008, which was bad for ski lift business as well. So, with this model, you're trying to get the people back.
Yeah, you're right. And it's not only the Engadin, it's all the alpine tourist region who have been in kind of troubles in the last 10 years. But of course, the pressure we have from the economic sides make you think about how you sell your product, and it's not all about the price. We have perfect slopes here, we have perfect ski conditions, but it's as well the price. And as we all want to make the best deal for what we need, you have to think about your price strategy.
How much did you invest into this new pricing model? I guess you also had to, technical investments. How long did it take you to be ready for this?
We definitely invested a lot of brain work in this project because we wanted to compare with other regions, with other businesses like the airline industry, but as well soccer. You can also buy soccer tickets in advance for a lower price. And we compared and we thought about what we were going to do. And it took a lot of time to take this decision. And then from May on, we started to really develop our shop, our online shop. We put some money in that, but I think we would have done it as well with other price model. You always have to reinvent yourself, and this is kind of the usual business you have.
Andermatt, Saint-Rouen started this new pricing model. There are other regions here, Lenzerheide, Arosa, Pizzol. But you told me that Zermatt and St. Moritz is kind of special because you have your own platform, right? Can you explain it a bit better?
After we had decided to go for this snow deal dynamic pricing model, we thought how can we realize it in the best way, and there are different options. You can choose a platform like Ticket Corner or Liftopia, which are partners of us as well, and they provide you with all the infrastructure, software infrastructure, to sell the tickets on their platform. But at the end we decided to do it on our own way. We want to have the contact with the clients from the time they buying the tickets up until they get their physical tickets down at the bottom station, and therefore we decided to take a partner which helps us with the price strategy, but we still have our own sales platform, our own online shop, just to interact directly with our customers.
Would it maybe be cheaper for you to just outsource that?
It also takes some money to be on a platform. Of course, you don't have the investment, but you pay for the provision, the commission, the external platform takes, as we know it from the hotel industry, which is quite expensive. But on the other hand side, it's more about a strategical decision, not to depend on a specific platform, but to interact with the customer on a very direct way and have all the data and as well the money in your own pocket from the very beginning.
We were now talking mostly about cheap tickets, but I guess that the model can only be an economic success if people are also willing to pay, let's say, twice as much as the cheapest ticket.
We don't want to make ski passes cheaper at all. At the end, the average price has to be around the same or should be even higher, to be honest, than before. It's not comparable to other price dumping strategy. No, we're not interested in that. We just think if the price is more dynamic, you are closer to the actual demand and sell more. But of course, if you buy at the very last moment, the ticket price is going to be around double than if you buy 2 weeks in advance, and it's even higher than we were used to pay for it last year. Yeah, we're gonna have ski pass prices at the level of around 100 Swiss francs in the Christmas New Year's week, which is new, which is gonna set a new benchmark in the Alpine region. And of course, there are different strategies. For example, in the United States, you could pay around like $150 in Vail, Beaver Creek, for example. In the last couple of years, we don't go this far, but it's going to be more expensive if you buy at the last day.
Okay, but that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, because St. Moritz is known as well for their rich customers.
St. Moritz is famous for rich people, but this is taking place in 2 weeks a year. It's in the Christmas, New Year's week, and 1 week in February. You have these people who are maybe not caring that much about the price, but don't underestimate them because they are aware what they pay for a certain service and they don't want to pay too much either. But the rest of the year we have ordinary people from Germany, from Switzerland, all over Europe, and they don't want to spend more than they have to.
Do you think that, you know, a ski pass, the price of a ski pass is essential in the decision making, am I going to the Engadin or not?
Yeah, the price of the ski pass is a part of the decision, and but at the end you need to have accommodation as well. You're gonna pay for a restaurant, so it's part of a whole package. But as the customer has to decide to book early for the ski pass, it might be a good reason to decide early to go to the Engadin. And as we all know, people are taking their decision more and more very short term and very late before the stay. It might be a good reason to have them here because they benefit of lower prices if they buy early.
Okay, but I was just wondering, you know, if so many regions are now playing with this pricing model, you're basically all fighting for the same clientele, aren't you?
Yes, we do, but the main competitor are not only the ski regions. You know, in this time of the year, as we're sitting here, you have so many other options, like going somewhere on a holiday at the ocean and just relax and going sunbathing. We are not fighting against the other ski regions. We want to have the people go skiing, and at the end they don't decide to go to, for example, Zermatt or St. Moritz just if it's cheaper in St. Moritz or in Zermatt. They decide to go skiing, and they need to have the reason to go skiing, and the price is just one out of many.